What's up, everybody? Just wanted to make a quick video. I just left work. Again, I'm outside of this park that's not too far from my house. I'm about to get a quick workout in. You know, gotta stay consistent, gotta do that. Gotta do it every day. Every day, maybe 1 or 2 rest days, but for the most part, every day. Regardless of how hard of a day I had at work, you know, I have a very physical job, so I work with literally my mind and my body especially, you know, 5 days a week, super intense. This job's actually kind of beneficial for me because I got a lot of cardio, and you know, I really hate cardio, and a lot of times I prioritize it because I know I hate it so much. But like with this job, I get so much cardio. It's like I'm really like cutting up, you know, like in the background each day, so that's really good for me. It's a very hard job, but I look for the positive, and that's definitely one of the positives. But I just wanted to make this video to give a message of basically saying, like, stop complaining. Stop complaining. Like, literally, I'm not saying there's not things to complain about. I'm not saying that you should ignore the things that are like worthy of complaining about, but stop complaining. Literally, it does anything. You're just focusing on things that are going to be there regardless. No matter what level you're on, there's going to be things to complain about. Stop complaining. Like, I know a bunch of people who I have literally like left in the dust in life, honestly, because they complained a lot. A lot of them are smarter than me, bigger, stronger, but they're just mindset of just pointing out the negatives and complaining and not being happy with where you are kind of left them stuck. And I progressed a lot faster, and we were all in the same situation. And I've seen that from a lot of times at jobs, at work. Like, we all have those people at work who just literally have everything to complain about every single day. And if you're watching this video or you're in this type of field, then you're on a path of self-development. You want to get better, you want a better life, and you're genuinely trying to find the right answers to do this. And you're gonna notice now a lot of people around you are complaining, and you can't be one of them, because I've proved it that does not help. It literally actually is doing the exact opposite. It's actually holding you back. You're being ungrateful. You're gonna put yourself in a perpetual state of just the same thing over and over. And you will find that while you're in a state of complaining, you may try things to get yourself out, and these things just, for some reason, are not working because you're not in the right vibration, you're not in the right frequency, you're not in the right state of mind. You're making wrong decisions, and you're looking for wrong things because you're complaining a lot. I had a coworker that, I don't know, God knows what they're doing right now. We had the same job for like 8 years, and this person was always complaining. I was just kept my head down and just did what I had to do. And there are people like that. You can notice that they're also super negative. A person who's always complaining, especially at a job, when you tell them about, hey, something, they're complaining, and then you reply back with something that's positive that you're actually want to do for yourself, that they could actually follow too, but something you want to do for yourself that's going to elevate you, and you kind of say it not to brag, but to kind of try to inspire them, and they'll point out the negatives about whatever you're doing. I've had that happen before, and you got to watch out for people like that, you know. And a lot of times this is why you have to kind of keep certain plans you have for yourself to yourself. I mean, I hear that a lot, but sometimes it's hard to. But I don't know, for me, I feel like I have a slight different thought to that sometimes, because I feel like if I want something bad enough, I don't care who I tell. There's nobody that can stop me from getting what I want, whether I tell you or not, because I want it that badly. You can't stop me. Your negative thoughts on it, your negative ideas, your negative reply to it, that's not has nothing to do with me. I'm gonna get it regardless. But certain times it is good to just do your best to hold it in. I mean, it's not gonna be a bad thing holding it in. So yeah, but definitely don't complain. Just keep your head down and just do what you gotta do. Like, and there's always gonna be things to complain about. Even when you will think that, hey, when I get to a certain level, when I finally accomplish this, when I get to that, I'm not gonna have anything else to complain about. Everything's gonna be all positive and sweet, and it's definitely not true. And that's on all levels, from unemployed person to a 9-to-5 to a high earning 9 to 5 to a business owner to a millionaire, whatever the case is. Everybody on each level has something to complain about. It's up to you now to choose whether you want to focus on that or not. Because right now just got this job, like I mentioned in previous videos, just got this job about 3 months ago, and this is the highest paying job I ever had, and I could find a bunch of things to complain about this job. Every single day is something new. And in the beginning, because it's a new job, I wasn't able to handle all these things that are being thrown at me. And it made my day-to-day a lot worse than it could have been. Now when things happen, it's like I just brush it off and just look for the positives, look for the solutions. Solution-based mindset. That doesn't stop the problems from coming, but it helps you to be more aware of solutions so you can deal with these problems faster, more efficiently, so they don't stop you. You can continue on your path, continue elevating. Stop complaining. You know, life is a removal process. A lot of times we want to do more and add more things to our lives, but before we can do that, we got to remove certain things. Two things can't occupy the same space at once. You can't be super positive and elevate and want better in life while you're maintaining and focusing on negatives. You have to remove a lot of the negatives. And that does not mean that negative things and negative emotions and things to complain about won't arise. They will, guaranteed. But you have to be aware enough to know how to maneuver around them. You know, today, first of all, my days start for this job. I wake up at 2 a.m. Monday through Friday. I have to be at work at 3 a.m. And if I don't get enough sleep, I literally feel it. And last night, I didn't get enough sleep. And I woke up in a terrible mood. I woke up angry at the world and angry at whatever, angry at the fact that I was kept up and I didn't get enough sleep. And it's like that. When my day started like that, it caused more negative things to start just popping up in my day. And I'm like, these things don't usually happen. Sometimes they do happen, but it's like they don't usually happen when I wake up in a more positive mood. So as my day goes, and then I'm like, more negative things are happening, and I just caught myself. I'm like, yeah, this is a spiral down. I gotta stop right here. I gotta just be positive for no reason. And just focus and just get to work. Just ignore your emotions. The emotion's gonna be there regardless. And just keep going. And as my day goes, I found more and more things to be grateful about, positive about, and it started to make my day go a lot smoother. And I just had to notice that, so like, hey, you gotta lock in, man. You gotta really just do what you gotta do, be consistent, and eventually you'll get there. Life is a removal process for real. A lot of times we can't see the end. Like, now I think about it, I had a lot of pretty good news happen today. That was unexpected, things that I was worried about. That's another thing, man. Like, you can't be worried about like negativity and negative things. A lot of pain and a lot of like problems that we experience in life is mostly mental. Like, yeah, these things are real, but like the pain we feel behind these things is like 100% created in our minds. We'll think about something bad happened that could possibly happen way before it actually happens. You think about it over and over and over. So you're anticipating this bad thing before it actually happens. So now you're experiencing that bad thing over and over and over multiple times. And this is something that could potentially happen just once. It could happen just once, but because you're living it over and over in your mind, you turn that one event that could potentially happen to something that happened like a bunch of times in your head, and your body can't tell the difference. Your mind and your body and your frequency cannot tell the difference whether or not you're imagining something or something's happening in real life. So it's best to just, and it's very hard, it's difficult. Speak from experience, it's very difficult, and I still struggle with that to this day, but as I'm on this path and this journey, I will tell you that it's getting easier and easier. And as you do these practices, your faith and believing it and your mindset towards it will become more and more strengthened, because you will start to see the results. Like, I'm seeing the results. And it becomes more and more prominent and more consistent. And I'm super grateful about that. So, hey, if you got something negative that's possibly coming up, just focus on solutions of it for now. And I promise, just lock in on the solutions, and don't ignore the problem, but don't let the problem be a bigger problem for you. Just keep it going. Keep going. I promise you will get there. And it's funny, as you lock in on that, you'll notice that, like, you'll start to, when you lock in on just doing the work, you'll start to feel how the results of that work is going to make you feel. And that's really manifestation. You got to feel the results of the things you're doing before you get there. That's why they say the journey is the destination, because along the journey, you got to feel the emotions of the destination already before you get there. You got to feel what it's like to be living in whatever goal you want to live in. When I was in CDL school, we have multiple different tests. You know, with different maneuvers, different things you have to do. And if you fail it, you got to do it again. And I had a few different parts of this thing where I was just not getting it. I would take the test, or just do the maneuver, and I wouldn't get it. And I used to be, before doing it, I used to be super worried, very like nervous about certain things, about the actual maneuver. And then I just said to myself that, most times when I actually pass these maneuvers or just get past a certain stage, I would say to myself, how am I gonna feel if I do this correctly? How am I gonna feel if I accomplish this maneuver in the correct way? And I would just do my best real quick before doing it to imagine how I would feel if I got this thing. And I swear, every time that I actually embodied that feeling properly, and it takes practice, but when I really felt it, I passed. I did so well. I didn't think about what I had to, and I didn't really much think about the actual thing I had to do. I just embodied the emotion first. And that was like what I had prominently, like mostly in my mind before doing it. And it worked. That's the first step. That's the first step of manifestation. And manifestation is actually the emotions, matching the emotion, and then you do the action. It's not the action and then you get the emotion. You got to get the emotion first. And it's so hard. Let me not say it's hard, because that's, whatever you say is real. It becomes reality. But in reality, it's hard because we were never taught it. It's not hard. It's just we're ignorant to it. But you have to, and we never had practice in it. We were always taught to just do the action and then we get the feeling. But the proper way is to have the feeling, do the action, and then you get the result. We got to do that. That's how you do it properly. You can get lucky here and there, but for the most part, you got to have the feeling first. You want security. You want to feel accomplished. You want to feel proud. You want to have pride. You want to feel like you're better than people who are not on a certain level. You got to feel that from now. I got to feel that from now. Then you do the action. Then you get the result. When you're complaining, you're actually reverse manifesting, or you actually still are manifesting, but you're manifesting something that you really don't want, but indirectly you kind of do want it because you're complaining. So you're embodying the emotions of complaint. You're embodying the negative, low, ungrateful emotions of complaining. So now you're getting the emotion first, which is a low emotion, and now you try to do something to get a certain result, but the result is going to match the emotion you felt before the action. The result is going to match the emotion you felt before the action. So you are ungrateful. You're complaining, but you want a better life. So you complain and be ungrateful first. Then you do an action to try to get a better life. And then the result you get is going to be the same as the emotion, the complaint. You're going to get a complaint and an ungrateful result. It's crazy, but that's really how it works. And I've tried both ways, and I can tell you that's the way that it works. So just stop complaining. There's always gonna be things to complain about, and it's hard, and we have to be conscious, and we gotta catch ourselves. You gotta meditate. You gotta get control of your mind faster. You gotta respond instead of reacting. And it's okay to fail, because that means you're doing your best. That means you're actually doing something. Just keep going, push, and try. You know what I'm saying? If the road is bumpy, it just means you're on your way. Things are a lot easier when you're not trying. When you're not trying to better yourself, when you're just going with the flow, it feels good. It feels like you're on the right path. But then you end up in a very tough situation. The path to mediocrity is very pleasing. It's very soothing. It feels great. It feels like you're on the right path. But the path to greatness is rough. It's tough. It's hard. It feels like you're not going anywhere. It feels like you're getting beat up along the way. But that's what actually leads to greatness. That's what leads to greatness. And it gets easier. The path, even though it's tough, I wouldn't say it gets easier, but you get stronger. You get used to it, and you get to be familiar with the feeling like, okay, yes, things are tough right now. That means I'm on the right path. Things are not easy. Yeah, I'm not doing this. I'm not going out as much. I'm not partying. I'm not wasting money. I'm not doing a lot of vices. It's tough. But once you start actually getting the results, you're like, oh, wow, okay, this actually works. Now you're in a groove. Now you're in flow. And you got to keep it up. You can't be, I'm speaking to myself too, you can't be starting and stopping. Starting and stopping. Success loves speed, and success loves consistency. How to ride a bike is, when I was learning how to ride a bike, when it clicked to me that all I have to do, the faster I go, and if I don't stop, I'll actually balance and keep going. Same thing with an airplane. An airplane stays in the sky because it's continually going, and it's going fast. It's going fast, and for the most part, it is just going. Compared to a helicopter, now, a helicopter has the ability to start, to stop, whatever it is, or whatever. And it's so funny because statistically, there is like a very higher percentage of helicopter crashes than there are plane crashes. You can look this up. It's crazy. Like, the machine that has the ability to start and stop crashes more often than a machine that just keeps going. It just keeps going fast, and it never stops until it gets to a destination. That's it right there. So when things get rough, it means you're on the right path. Just keep going. Do your best not to complain. Matter of fact, just never complain. And if you do complain, you got to catch yourself. We're only human, because it's a daily process. It's a daily process. And sometimes you got to reflect on when you lost yourself, when you lost your cool, when you complain, you like, yeah, damn, I was really complaining a lot. I was really being ungrateful. I was really looking at things half empty at such and such time during that day, or yesterday, or today. And then that's how the more you reflect and you come more aware going forward, you do better. But you can't start and stop on this journey. It's definitely worth it. Speaking to myself also. And we're gonna get there, guys. We're gonna get there. I'm gonna take you guys along with this journey with me also. As you can see, like I said, I'm in a decently high paying job right now. I started to do these YouTube videos more consistently as I got this job, because I said I would, and now I'm doing it because I've proven to myself that the path I'm on is the right one. And I feel like I'm at a certain level where I have the right, and I earn the right to share my knowledge, my experiences, my expertise with the world, because you never know who I can help. And even if I help at least one person, I'll be okay with that. And I'm pretty sure that number will grow. And I just want to pass the energy along, because I was helped so much. I've gotten to this point in my life because of people who decided to put their experiences out there. And I'm super grateful for them. I'm super grateful for that. So I just want to pass the energy along. So let this be a reminder to you that if things are tough right now, you are on the right path. You are on the right path. So let's keep it up, stay positive, stay up, don't start and stop and crash out. Let's go.